Hi, my name is Mayhemstar, and welcome to the front yard. Pancakes. On Tuesday mornings, my mother would make pancakes. Up. They were never that good, always burnt at the bottom. Ma was in a rush, so I could never blame her. I remember it clearly. Making them took up so much of a morning that by the time me and my brothers had woken up, she'd be rushing out the door. She'd quickly wrangle my shoulder, lengthen hair into a ponytail and kiss our foreheads as a half-hearted goodbye. But Ma would put effort into the pancakes, I knew that much. She wanted us to eat well, I know that much. Fergus. Mom, tired, 10 more minutes. Get up. Even the pancakes can wait. Fergal. Yeah. That's pancakes. What the hell are you talking about? Oi, hurry up. We're gonna be late for work. And don't go 10 minutes. I've already given you 20. Fergal. This guy. Fergal! Stop doing that. Then wake up. Yeah, don't pinch me so hard. Fine, I'm awake. Okay, jeez. Change, would you? We have to leave. Now. Ponia Adomenite is probably waiting for us too. Have some respect. Yeah, whatever. Dirty clothes. An open bottle of alcohol. Why do we live in such disarray? They need to be washed. So dirty pile of clothes, alcohol, we're definitely not in a good state. A chest filled with all sorts of random items. Your bed. There's only one bedroom in this apartment since your work is more strenuous. Eon lets you sleep here. It smells. So we are bunking in with someone? And we are alcoholics. Okay, I understand now. Oh, this is not good. A small desk, the Adomeni your neighbors found in the dump nearby. What is this Adomeni? Atop is an envelope from Aeon's parents. It seems like Aeon is in the process of writing back. To the side is an empty vase, a photograph. It is the only thing you brought from home. From left to right it shows your younger brothers, your mother, then yourself. It shows signs of having been crumpled up. A pile of dirty clothes. Why are we writing letters in this day and age? Where's the computer? The couch. Eon sleeps here. It smells less than the bed. Probably because it's a bigger room. And it gets ventilated. Pile of dirty clothes. What's over here? Quaint. A small stove. Cabinet. Seasonings, breads and cooking utensils are stored here. While it's rare for you to buy meat, you keep what you have on the bottom shelf. A chest filled with cleaning supplies and alcohol. Canned and dry goods. There are a couple of unopened alcohol bottles as well. Why is there alcohol all over the place? Is this not a hazard? Ready? No. Hurry up, would you? Why am I given the option to say no? Weird. Yes. As ever. Let's go then. Oh, who are you? Pones Adomenes. Ah, Eon. Good morning. I was wondering if you two would be working today. You're going to have to hurry if that's the case. The others just left. Pones Adomenes. Good morning to you as well. Yes, Fergal had a rough time this morning. But it can't be helped. We'll be off now, so don't worry yourself too much. If we leave right now, we should get to our buildings with enough time to spare. Is the walk to the parking buildings that brief though? Whenever I go alone with the other men, it feels like quite the trek. Not to mention the trains, you know. A young boy was crushed the other day. Stories like that seem to be becoming the norm. But like I said, Pones Adomenes. You don't need to worry. Today's another work day. We just happen to be a little late. Besides, neither of us take the route along the tracks. The trains only go by the stockyard, not the butchering and packing buildings. Well, if you say so. Dahlia is busy today, so she sent me to give you lunch. Ham today. The butcher had some good cuts this week. Hey, these look different than usual. He says it's ham. Really? Acute jums. Oh. Ahaha. Your accent is getting better. He said your pronunciation is improving. Haha. That's so, well. Acute jams labai. Croissant. Don't let me hold you any longer. You have work to get to. Thank you again. Give Ponia at the midnight my best wishes. This isn't modern day, is it? The Edomenai apartment, they're the family that offered you come with them to Chicago for work. At the time you believed it was a prospect with zero cons. Nowadays... Well, no point in dwelling over past mistakes. Oh, we're in Chicago, are we? We're in America. Are we immigrants? No, the Adamanai family is definitely immigrants. This door leads to a few other apartments. They house Lithuanians around your age. This door leads to a few other apartments. Uh-huh. Are we all Lithuanians? An apartment. Another one. What's down here? Why is this taking so long to load? The Yards of Chicago, 1883. A district of Chicago entirely dedicated to meat packing. I'm from New York, so maybe I don't have the right to say anything, but it's filthy here. Dead cats and dogs litter the street. Some get eaten by other animals, bugs, vultures, and such, while the rest get thrown into trucks that are supposed to discard trash. In reality, the carcasses end up rotting in them for days on end, so picking them up is just as useless. I'm sure they're not the only thing creating the terrible smell of these neighborhoods, but they certainly contribute to it. There's also a mice problem. Well, I'm not too sure if I can call it a problem if it's so normalized. I remember when we first moved, Fergal was scared of rats. He says he's gotten over it, but I doubt that's the case. I don't even know where to start with all the trash. I had assumed that with time I'd get used to the foul odors that permeate through this bubble. I wonder what it'd be like to smell fresh air again. Hey. Is my Lithuanian actually getting better? I'm not going to lie, it's far from perfect. But it's also far from what it was when we first came here. Your improvement is pretty impressive. Oh, a compliment from sober Eon, how rare. Just take it, would you? I'm being honest. Even if you only know basic phrases, you could probably pass as a child of Lithuanians. That's definitely a stretch. Have a bit more confidence in yourself. Even Angelica can understand your broken sentences. I can't tell if her knowing more English than I do Lithuanian is impressive or embarrassing. At least, some things change. We made it. Just as you said, with time to spare. Maybe I'll start sleeping in more. Don't even think about it. You had to skip breakfast. Oatmeal gets old fast when you've been eating it for over a year straight, Eon. Skipping the same tasteless mush is like a blessing. Fine, whatever. See you tonight. Bye-bye. God, for someone who hates working, Eon sure does value routine. I wonder what he's like once inside. See, Eon and I work in different parts of the packing buildings. There's the famed stockyard itself, where all the cows and hogs and sheep are rounded up in tiny pens. And then there's the butcher and packing buildings. I assume that because I'm bad with tedious stuff, I work with directly killing cattle. Just swinging a sledgehammer straight to the center of a cow's skull. Nothing too complicated. Eon handles the more hands-on tasks towards the end of the line. I'm not sure of the specifics, but I'm pretty sure he cuts bigger chunks of meat into smaller ones. It's a lot bloodier than what I do, I'll say that much. If I had to touch that much raw meat, I'd go insane, all that blood and gunk. Well, if Eon can come home early every day looking the same as the last, I shouldn't be too concerned. I guess that's our routine. Eon wakes me up, We eat oatmeal, then we walk to work. And of course the best part of the day, coming home. Eon gets off before me, so he should be back by now. Or maybe he isn't. Maybe there was a workplace accident and he doesn't come home. Then what? They're the family that offered Eon the job here. Much like everyone else in this building, they only speak Lithuanian, so Eon has to be the middleman for most of our conversations. Though they do have a young daughter, Angelica, who you've been teaching English to. She's a bit of a strange girl, but she's taking a liking to you. Strange girl. Is she gonna kill us? Gah. I'm gonna take that as an indicator of a good day. If you like hearing screams as someone gets found on the tracks again, then yes, I had an amazing day. Another train accident, huh? A worker this time? No, a mother. Her son ran onto the tracks and she started chasing after him when... At least lunch tasted different. Are you implying you ate the woman's body? You're uncharacteristically optimistic. Ham, compass. Taib, did you pick that up just from this morning? I'm shocked. You usually need me to translate whatever Pones is for you. Eon, you mustn't think you know everything about me. But I'll have you know that I'm a very perceptive person. You, perceptive? As if. You're denser than the meat we work with. You're not funny. And I know you're making stuff up. Cut the crap, yeah. Lunch was good for once, surprisingly. Never in my life did I think I'd be so excited by 2 slices of ham. The bar is in hell. That it is. Where are you going? I'm still hungry. You're cooking dinner. Sure, why not? That's rare. Well, I'm not gonna stop you. If you mess up, you're paying for the groceries next time. Fine. What to make? I'm pretty sure we have sauerkraut left. Soup it is then. A cabinet, seasonings, breads. Obtain salt and pepper. There's some of the rye bread that Eon likes left too. You make a mental note to get it later. A chest filled with cleaning supplies and alcohol. There's some bottled water in here too. Obtain water. The broth should have been in here. You should look elsewhere for it. Here. Canned dry goods. Couple of unopened alcohol bottles as well. Potato, sauerkraut, carrot. Kitchen table. Let me know when you're done. It seems like he's busy writing back right now. No, he's not. He's not at his desk. Pile of dirty clothes. It reeks of rotting meat. Perhaps that's why Eon hasn't washed them yet. Huh. A dirty pile of clothes. They need to be washed. Upon sifting through the pile. Obtain broth? You wonder what that can was doing there. Collecting broth? Your broth comes from your sweat and the blood of the meat that stained your clothes? Yes? Eon is ready. I just used leftovers from last week. The bread might be a bit stale, but no, it's good. I'm excited. It smells great. Thank you for this meal. Salty. I figured you'd say that. Yeah, because you're drinking sweat. The bread tastes good with it though. You're getting better at cooking. Who knows, maybe we'll be able to make pancakes someday. Fergal's gone to take a shower. It's pretty late. You can sleep whenever you'd like. No reason for you to go into Fergal's room. Oh, we're not Fergal, we're Eon. Have we changed character? A desk. Can we leave? Many of the apartments in the back of the yards or the part of the city where workers live don't have washrooms. The Adam and I are the only family in this building that have one, so you and Fergal use theirs. You're grateful Fergal knows enough Lithuanian to get by with asking to shower. Dirty clothes. It's warm here. The air is thick, suffocating you with every breath you take. It smells terrible. Intestines choke you. Fat fills your lungs. Meat embraces you whole. This place again. Are we having nightmares? Let's check the rest of the place before we check the bed. A chest that reeks of manure. Fergal's sledgehammer. It's around 4 pounds heavy. Swinging it for hours straight must be really tiring. You wonder if anyone has ever been hit on accident. You're holding a cleaver, by the way. Eon. A pile of clothes caked in blood. Or maybe is this our reality? And everything else we've been doing since the beginning of the game is just a dream. And this is actually reality. A half-finished alcohol bottle. Take a drink. Yes. This has always helped, if even for a little bit. We'll check back later. Meat from the trunk. Cut it, yes. You spent years doing the same thing over and over and over. Butcher knife in hand, you cut excess cartilage off the toughened beef. Over time, you've witnessed people commit heinous acts towards what others will see as food. You don't get paid enough to worry about how sanitary your work is. So why do you? Perhaps it's because every time you witness another man throw up, piss, or lose a finger to the bloody mess, you're reminded of yourself at the dining table of your youth. Chuck steak was your favorite after all. Aha, so we're getting backstory on Eon. You don't want to go back to sleep right now. A pile of meat. You should move this before someone decides to mess with it. But we're not going to, are we? A pot covered in dirt and dried blood. Upon lifting the cloudy lid, you are hit with a stench of vomit. What is going on? Innards leak from within. You cannot tell if they're from a cow or a human. Can I walk this way? No, I can't. A chest filled with empty bottles upon bottles of alcohol. Have you been drinking, Eon? A diner table. There are 2 plates at respective seats. Both have stains of blood smeared across them. Otherwise they've been wiped clean. There are no signs of the meal that once decorated them other than grease glistening under the dim light. Can we leave the house? Go to work? No. Not yet. Hey buddy, he's sleeping. How can he do so in such peace? He's not sleeping. He's dead. See the blood marks. It covers his entire body. On the blanket. He has to be dead. Go to work, yes. It's been many years since you first moved here. Since you left the nice life you had surrounded by people you loved to become a man. Is that what life is? Becoming a true American man? Is it standing in a pool of murky blood, limbs, buried in guts and leftover fat? Is it the dizziness of spending hours on end in a room full of other miserable workers, air thick with bacteria and sweat? Is it abandoning comfort for the rawness of a real city? You made a mistake. You made a huge, irreversible mistake in coming here. The moment you stepped into work for the first time, you threw up. Shouldn't that have been a sign? The measly dimes you received aren't enough to compensate for the turmoil you've been through. You dragged an innocent Fergal along with you. He was hopeless at the time, and the hope you gave him was beyond false. It stinks. It stinks of murder and shit. Cows and humans. You can't tell the difference anymore, nor do you care. That makes you no better than everyone else. It's all the same now. Everything bleeds red at the end of the line. If you put a human heart in front of them, would they even be able to tell the difference? Would you eat it all the same? It's warm here. The air is thick, suffocating you with every breath you take. It smells terrible. Intestines choke you. Fat fills your lungs. Meat embraces you whole. Whoa. Good morning. Fergal, were you watching me? Look, you were tossing and turning and all that and I got worried. But I was also just generally intrigued. It was kind of funny. You're terrible. I'm not. Ah, screw that. Can't I worry you for once? You look awfully rattled. I'm fine. What time is it? Late enough that you have to skip breakfast. This guy. Go to work, yes. I wonder when the mundanity of this routine will end. Another long day of work. Sleepy. Oh. Fergal! You're back late. Yeesh, drinking this early. What are you talking about? So like I said, you're the one back late, Fergal. Stop saying my name. Haha, so rude. Come on, you look miserable. Have a bottle or something. Take the edge off. It's sad to drink alone. Give me that. Eon's always had this problem, if I'm allowed to call it that. Oh, he's the drinker. I always come back later than him, but on Friday nights, he procures 1 or 2 bottles, offering me half or a quarter and downing the rest. I never ask him why, but he'll often start rambling about some. You know, back in Lithuania, they used to have a huge drinking problem. You don't say. I do, and you know, the craziest part is, the bishop started a sobriety movement that worked. Huh? Yes, how'd you know? Lucky guess? Probably because he's told this story so many times while drunk. Or maybe it's because you've told me 1 billion times. Yep. That's damn lucky if anything's ever been. Fergal, I don't say this much, but I'm glad you came here with me. I'm not too sure if you regret it or anything. I know I sure as hell would if I were you. But having someone like you makes life a lot more bearable. I'm just glad you're my friend, Fergal. Friend, huh? Do I regret coming here? Yeah, often. I regret it so much, but all Eon did was offer me an escape. In the grand scheme of things, he was just as naive as me. Miss, excuse me. He was just being a polite boy, 8 years ago when he... Miss. Huh? Are you talking to me? Sir? Hold on, did you just mistake me for a girl? No, I didn't. Look, that isn't important right now. You don't seem like you're from around here. Are you lost? Either way, you shouldn't be out here so late. It's not safe. He could have just left me out there after realizing I wasn't a girl, and yet he... Sorry to have you take the floor. We don't have a guest room, so... I'm shocked my parents agreed. They rarely let me go out with the other boys here unless they know them from church, so them allowing a stranger to stay is quite... Your name is Fergal, right? Where are you from, and if I may ask, why are you traveling so late? Fergal? Oh, right, you must be tired. Sorry for bothering you, and, sleep well. Good night. Just one night is shocking enough for sure. It ended up being 3. It was quite selfish overstaying my welcome, but what can I say? I grew to like Eon's presence. I'm sure if I had had it my way, I would have stayed at his place forever. What, so your mum just makes you keep your hair long because she likes it? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That it is. It's a bit confusing too. That's what I keep telling her. She never listens though. Once I get to where I'm going, I'm gonna shave my head. That'll teach her. Ah, speaking of which, where are you going exactly? The part of New York that you're from is a good ways away from here. You walked all the way here? Yeah, I walked. I figured it'd be the more manly thing to do. That's a bit stupid. Let me tell you what my plan is. See, I have 2 younger twin brothers, and after they were born, my dad left to some other part of the city for work. It's not like he's completely out of my life. He sends back money and letters and stuff. He's just not home. I don't remember him much either. And I'm getting sick of my mom. She's a tailor, and the job is quite time-consuming, so she's always irritable with me. My brothers get special treatment all the time. Just because my personality doesn't align with what she sees as the perfect eldest child doesn't mean she has to limit me so much. So I just decided one day to teach her a lesson. I'm gonna find my dad and live with him from now on, plain and simple. Huh? Seriously? That's your justification for running away unannounced? Yeah, isn't it valid? Fergal, instead of continuing this journey, I think you should go home tomorrow. Huh? What are you? Your mom just seems to be a busy woman. Would you say she's abusive? Of course not. Then go home. She's probably worried sick. And write back when you do, okay? We're friends now. I want to keep in touch. Alright, I will. Words cannot describe how grateful I am to unknowing Eon for sending me back, because, well, my first letter must have come as a shock. Dear Eon, I hope you are faring well. I've arrived home safe, but I write bearing terrible news. Ma has passed away in the time I was gone, supposedly due to a disease they could not pinpoint. Dear Fergal, this deeply saddens me to hear. My deepest condolences. I'm sorry all I can do is write. I wish I could be there with you. Yeah, I wish he was there with me too. I tried to keep my first few letters brighter, but I'm sure my grief became more prominent. Dear Fergal, how are you? School has been quite rough, but I've been performing well in my classes. Dear Eon, I've seen better days, but similarly, school has been alright. My grades were never great, so I suppose what they are now isn't too shocking. Dear Fergal, it's summer. My family will be traveling soon, so my letters may be sparse. Dear Eon, sorry for not writing in so long. Have you returned? Dear Fergal, yes we have. I was worried you wouldn't write back. I have attached some photos from our vacation. They must have a lot of money to take photos, and go on a vacation. Eon, sorry for not writing again. It looks lovely. Dear Fergal, Eon, Dear Fergal. Fergal. Dear Fergal, I hope this address is still applicable. Are you looking for work? I have an offer that might just serve us well. Write back if you are interested. Your friend, Eon. Dear Eon, yes, this address is still my own. Please let me know the details. I am interested. Many thanks, Fergal. I'm not sure why Eon ever offered I come with him. We live miles from each other. We could have easily asked the people near him. And yet he asked me. Was it out of pity? Had he picked up on how much the guilt of not being with Ma in her final moments had hit me? Well, even if that's why, I'm glad he did. Even if all the death in this place scares me, at least I have Eon. A few days later. More work done. This gets awfully redundant fast, doesn't it? Eon? Ah, Fergal. Eon, rare to see you in here. Are you taking the bid for once? Yeah, if you don't mind. Huh? You're acting so polite. Of course I don't. Thanks. Are you alright? You haven't been looking too great since that nightmare. I'm alright, okay? It's just... Plague. No, I'm kidding. Don't look at me like that. It's just a small cold. I'll be over it if I sleep. Well, if you say so. I trust you. I'll take the couch. Sleep as long as you want. Thanks again, Fergal. You're not tired right now. I'm not? No reason to leave. Then what do I do? Oh, we start drinking. A drink or two never hurt. A few weeks passed and Eon's health deteriorated greatly. Truth be told, I'm not sure if being given the news or witnessing happen before your very eyes is worse, but I felt helpless, useless. Yet the world moved on, or rather, it never stopped in the first place. Cleavers and sledgehammers still swung, knives still sunk into flesh. The hazy smell didn't even let up. The sickeningly cyclical lifestyle of the stockyard stopped for no one. Someone disappearing is just another slot to fill. Without Eon, it became harder to live in this building too. My broken sentences only get me sympathetic smiles from the end of an eye. I'm sorry, Eon. I'm sorry that you felt the need to bring me somewhere far away from my sadness. Was I the only reason this whole endeavor seemed meaningful? I'm sorry, maybe if I had never written back you would have found purpose amongst the parents who loved you so. For in a loveless, blood-soaked, death-addled world such as the back of the yards, I doubt there's any purpose to either of us being here. I'm sure I'll die— What? I'm sure I'll die a death as silent as yours. What? What? I'm assuming this game harkens back to the working man of the 1800s, 1900s, where people would work in factories, get paid very little, get sick, die, and get replaced. I mean, that's just how the whole industrial process just kind of works in the first place. So here are these people thinking that by moving to the city, and I'm assuming they're from the farms or from further out, come to the city looking for adventure and for greater purpose and meaning or better jobs. Or rather the allure of the city, because everyone wants to be in the city these days, and even back then. They all go to the city, they get sick, they work their asses off for no money, and then they die. I think that's what this game is about. It's just a hearkening back to that time period where a lot of these workers in industrial America did come as immigrants, hoping for a better life. I think that's what this story is about, in a nutshell. I find it quite interesting how Eon has this nightmare about working as a butcher, where he just keeps killing things, and all of a sudden he dies as a result of his own work. Dare I say, karmic cycle? But it's not really his fault, is it? He just thought it would be a good idea to work in the city or in a more industrial area, as everyone would have wanted to back then. So I think it's just a sad story. It's just a really sad, unfortunate story. My name's Mayhemstar, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Bye. If I think of anything else, I'll write it down in the description.